You know, I'd been playing guitar for a few years before I actually started to feel like, hey, maybe I'm not a beginner anymore. But it actually took a long time to get to that point. And before that, there were so many times where I was asked to play something, or I was in a guitar shop fiddling around on a guitar when I really had no idea what I was doing. And there were a few key things that I added to my routine each week that changed everything. I went from feeling like I couldn't play anything in a guitar shop to feeling comfortable and confident on the guitar. And so I'm going to give you a few different tricks today that are going to help you to progress from being a beginner guitarist, or maybe feeling like a beginner even if you've played for a little while, to feeling much more like an intermediate guitarist where you can play so many different challenging songs. Now, I think one of the reasons that I felt like a beginner guitarist for so long was that I never actually practiced with real structure. And one of the biggest things that I changed was adding a metronome to my practice. And if you don't have a metronome, you might want to check out the comment section below. I've got a link to a great metronome and tuner that you can use that'll be really helpful for your practice. Now, a metronome is something that helps you keep in time. Now, it's not just about keeping in time though. It's about finding a good way to practice a song slowly and to start to build up that speed so that you're not starting off at this really quick pace that you're never going to perfect. But as you start to use a metronome, you can go from a really slow pace as you start to learn a tricky riff or some quick chord changes to starting to build up that pace so that you can get up to speed for the song. It's kind of like on Guitar Hero, how you can slow down a song to practice it and get it up to 100%. And that's really the goal. And perfecting every song is going to help you progress, because as you do that, you're going to get to know some really valuable techniques. And as you practice them slowly and build up their speed, it's going to help you to master those techniques so that you can play them in any song. So whether it's bar chords or some tricky finger picking, you're going to be able to play heaps of different songs with that. So as you're working on a tricky riff or maybe a nice finger picking song, you'll slowly start to build up that pace. So let me show you an example. So we've got Cherry Wine by Hosier, and I'll play my metronome at 80 beats per minute. And you see, I might make some mistakes there, but obviously I've already learnt it, but as I make some mistakes, then I'm going to want to practice it again. Now, as I'm doing that, I might make some mistakes, but as I keep on practicing through slowly and slowly, it'll start to get better. Now, if you're not getting any better as you do that, you might want to slow down the metronome even more. But as you start to get better, you can change the speed of your metronome to go a little bit faster until you get up to speed with the song. So if I practice Cherry Wine at 80 beats per minute, and the song's actually at, let's say, 120 beats, then I might slowly build up in increments from 80 to 85 to 90, or maybe even just to 82 and then 84, until I'm mastering each pace. And you'll work out that you actually make some really quick progress. So let me play Cherry Wine for you now a little bit faster. So you'll see that it's not just about being in time with the metronome, but that the metronome helps you to build up your speed as you work from perfecting it at maybe 60 beats even, up to 80, up to 90, and then up to 100. So really, you're just trying to speed up until you get to the right speed of the song. Now, the way that this works is, if I'm playing Cherry Wine at 80 beats per minute, trying to practice it and get better, as I get it right the first time, that means perfect as I play through, I'll move one coin across to the right side. And if I get it right again, I'll move another coin across. But if I get it wrong, then all of my coins come back across and I start again. And the way that this works is that it's going to help you to get it right up to 5 times in a row before you progress to the next stage. And that'll make sure that whether there's important techniques that you're missing and you need to work on, or whether it's just getting used to the riff and building up your muscle memory, that's going to help you master any song. And really, it's going to help you progress as a guitarist up to more of an intermediate stage as you do this with heaps of different songs. So if I'm practicing Cherry Wine, now I might not be happy with the start of that. And so I'll take all my coins back, and then as I get it right each time, slowly move them across until you get all 5 and you can progress. So that's the coin trick, and I have a few final suggestions. One of those is that to progress as a guitarist, it's so important to be practicing regularly. And alongside working on your technique and specific riffs, using the metronome or the coin method, another really important thing is to be practicing regularly. That's going to help you progress beyond a beginner guitarist. And one trick I have for that is keeping your guitar in a very visible spot. It's no use to you if it's in your case, and it's much more likely to sit away and not be used for a couple of weeks. And so whether it's you practicing a specific riff or just trying to improve generally, you're not going to be improving while it's sitting in its case. And so if you have it sitting there out in the open in a really obvious space, as you sit down on the couch or whatever it is, you're much more likely to sit down and pick it up and play a few different tunes or that sort of thing, have a bit of a play around on the guitar, and that is going to do wonders for you, even if it's not structured practice. Because as you do that, you'll build up calluses and you'll get used to muscle memory of chord changes and finger picking patterns and that sort of thing. So keeping your guitar in a visible place is a great thing to do alongside these other methods. And if you implement these things, whether it's using a metronome or keeping your guitar out in the open, you're going to start to see real improvements in your technique. It's not just about perfecting one song in particular, but it's about building upon your technique and your foundations that you've started to build on, whether it's your strumming technique or your finger picking patterns, or whether it's chord changes and trying to move them quickly or hammer-ons and pull-offs. As you learn more songs and you play them perfectly, you're not skipping through them, you're going to see so much more progress than just having no structure behind your practice. So if you try these things, it's going to do so much for your playing, and you're going to start to feel comfortable on the guitar so that maybe you can rock up to a guitar shop and feel like you know what you're doing. And if you've enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to subscribe to my channel to find many more techniques and tips like this one, as well as specific song tutorials. But otherwise, I hope you have a good day.